kadamayyam dadati swapadantikam vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padkamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dīnabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vansha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhaivacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminati Namate Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashatadeshatane Hare Krishna. So continuing with our session from yesterday on Srila Prabhupada's arrival in America on 17th of September 1965. This journey of Srila Prabhupada from Vrindavan to New York is an extraordinary adventure, transcendental adventure. This is a journey of complete fearlessness. Prabhupada never had any fear, although he had to face such adverse situations. There was seasickness, vomiting, dizziness, indigestion, and on top of that, Prabhupada twice had heart attacks. But never ever Prabhupada thought of returning. Prabhupada was always determined to reach New York. So how Prabhupada had such fearlessness, such courage? It is only because of Srila Prabhupada's indomitable faith. Such deep faith Prabhupada had. Such protection and dependence on Krishna, Prabhupada showed exemplary. Like we see in the case of Prahlad Maharaj. Although Prahlad Maharaj, he was in the midst of his most unfavorable and adverse situation. But never ever in his heart he had any fear. So Prabhupada exhibited such level of faith, determination, courage, and fearlessness. He was absolutely confident and assured. Why? Because he was embarking on the mission, that is the mission of the Supreme Lord himself. And he was determined. What was his determination? His determination was to serve his spiritual master, Srila Bhakti-Siddhanta. Never ever he had any doubt or any fear in his heart. And as Prabhupada was embarking on the land of New York in US, Prabhupada composed this very beautiful poem expressing his heartfelt feeling, crying and calling to Krishna, completely exhibiting his total dependence on Krishna and calling for his mercy, invoking mercy and empowerment so that he can accomplish this mission. I'm not very good at singing, and I'll be singing this song only twice. Yesterday I sang once. You can also recite with muted microphones. Otherwise, there will be a lot of echoing. Very beautiful composition by Srila Prabhupada himself. baro-kṛpā kaile kṛṣṇa adhamer prati lāgiyānile hethā koro gati. baro-kṛpā kaile kṛṣṇa adhamer prati lāgiyānile hethā koro gati. āche kichu kārja tabe anumāne. āche kichu kārja tabe anumāne. nahe keno ugra-sthāne. nahe keno ugra-sthāne. rajas-tamo-bhāvāḥ sabāyā-chana. rajas-tamo-bhāvāḥ sabāyā-chana. bāsudeb-kathā ruci nahi se prasanna. bāsudeb-kathā ruci nahi se prasanna. tabe jadi tabe kṛpā hoye ahetu ki. tabe jadi taba kṛpā hoye ahetu ki. sakal-i sambhav hoye tumhi se kathu ki. sakal-i sambhav hoye tumhi se kathu ki. कि भाव बुझाले तारा बुझे से ही रस. कि भावे बुझाले तारा बुझे से ही रस. एते कृपा करो प्रभु करो nija-baśa. एते कृपा करो प्रभु करो nija-baśa. तुम्हारे इच्छाएं सब होए māyā-baśa. तुम्हारे इच्छाएं सब होए māyā-baśa. तुम्हारे इच्छाएं नाश māyā-परस. तुम्हारे इच्छाएं नाश māyā-परस. तबे इच्छा होए यदि तादेर उद्धार. तबे इच्छा होए यदि तादेर उद्धार. बुझिबे निश्चय तभी कथा से तुम्हार. बुझिबे निश्चय तबे कथा से तुम्हार. भागवते-कथा से तबे अवतार. भागवते-कथा से तबे अवतार. धीर होइया सुने यदि ताने बार बार. धीर होइया सुने यदि ताने बार बार. शृण्वता sva-kathā kṛṣṇa puṇya-śravaṇa-kīrtanaḥ. antaḥ-stho abhadrani vidhunoti śruhitsata. naṣṭa-prāyeṣv abhadreshu nityam bhāgavata-sevayā. bhagavati uttama-śloka bhaktir bhavati naṣṭa-ki. तदा rajas-tamo-bhāvāḥ कामलोभादयाश्च ये चेतायते रणावृद्धिं स्थितं सत्त्वे प्रसीदति एवं प्रसन्न मनसो भगवद्भक्ति योगतः भगवत विज्ञानम मुक्त संगस्य जायते ह्रियते हृदय ग्रंथे शीदयन्ते सर्व संशय क्षीयन्ते च सकर्माणि दृष्टायैवात्मनेश्वरे रजस्तमोहोते तबा पायिबे निस्तार रजस्तमोहोते तबे पायिबे निस्तार हृदय अभद्र शटे ऊचिबे तहार हृदय अभद्र शटे ऊचिबे तहार की करो बुझाबो कथा बारो से चाही की करो बुझाबो कथा बारो से चाही शूद्रामि दीनहीना कौन शक्ति नाही शूद्रामि दीनहीना कौन शक्ति नाही āche नाचे प्रभु कथा बोली बारे āche नीचे प्रभु कथा बोली बारे चे तुम्हारे इच्छा प्रभु करो ए बारे जे तुम्हारे इच्छा प्रभु करो ए बारे अखिल जगत गुरु बचन से आमार अखिल जगत गुरु बचन से आमार अलंकृत कोरी बार क्षमता तुम्हार अलंकृत कोरी बार क्षमता तुम्हार तबे कृपा होले मोरा कथा शुद्ध होवे तबे कृपा होले मोरा कथा शुद्ध होवे सुनिया सबार शोका दुख दे गुचीब सुनिया सबार शोका दुख दे गुचीबे अनियाच जदि प्रभु आमारे न चाहते अनियाच जदि प्रभु आमारे न चाहते न चाहो प्रभु न चाहो से माते न चाहो प्रभु न चाहो से माते काष्ठेरा पुतली जथा न चाहो से माते काष्ठेरा पुतली जथा न चाहो से माते भक्ति नाही भेद नाही नामे खूब दारो भक्ति नाही भेद नाही नामे खूब दारो भक्ति वेदांत नाम इबे सार्थक करो भक्ति वेदांत नाम इबे सार्थक करो baro-kṛpā kaile kṛṣṇa adhamer prati. Baro-kṛpā kaile kṛṣṇa adhamer prati. lāgiyānile hethā koro gati. lāgiyānile hethā koro gati. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Baro-kṛpā kaile kṛṣṇa adhamer prati. lāgiyānile hethā koro gati. Prabhupāda-līlāmṛta. With this song, Srila Prabhupada is expressing his complete inability. Prabhupada, in his first verse says that my dear Lord Krishna, you are so kind upon this useless soul. Adhamer. Adham means one who is low, who is fallen. Prabhupada is considering himself fallen. Why Prabhupada is considering himself fallen? He is the topmost Vaishnava. He is the Vaishnava Thakur. So why is he considering himself fallen? He is pleading Krishna that you have bestowed ocean of mercy upon me. Why Krishna is Prabhupada is considering himself fallen? You can speak. What is your understanding? Yes, Sandra?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dhanvat Pranam. Prabhuji, every Shuddha Vaishnavas think about himself that they are fallen only.
That is true. That is true. But here, why Prabhupada is very much focusing that he is fallen?
Because he is on this Mother Earth, means this Mrityu-lok.
Sorry?
Because he has appeared in this Mrityu-lok.
Oh. What else is the reason? Guys, considering why there is such guilt in his heart. We spoke about it briefly yesterday. बोलिए, सोचिए, think about it. There is no negative marking. Express yourself. I just Sonika again. No one else want to speak. बोलिए. No one is. Everybody Yes, Police Monica.
Prabhuji, Srila Prabhupada, by that time he was not able to fulfill the desire of his Guru Maharaj.
Yes, yes. Prabhupada in his heart, he is always reverberating his inability to be able to execute and implement the instruction of the Srila Bhakti-Maharaj. So actually he is very much thankful in his heart to Krishna that you have brought me here, my dear Krishna, you have brought me here. And then what he says, now you can do whatever you like. You can use me as you like. Actually, if you see so much, Krishna dependent Prabhupada is expressed. Has Krishna brought directly Prabhupada here? Prabhupada sat in Vrindavan and suddenly he has reached New York. How Prabhupada came to New York? So many years, he made so much endeavors. He contacted and he, begged for support from so many of his god brothers, from practically everyone. Yesterday we spoke, he persuaded that Mr. Agarwal in Agra to ask his son to send an invitation. Without invitation, could he be in New York on this boat? Then he persuaded Sumati Murarji so much. She was not agreeing. Prabhupada sat outside his office from morning till evening, waiting for her to come out from his office, from her office. And then Prabhupada literally barged upon her and demanded that you please issue one ticket to her. So, and then even if that happened, then Prabhupada was not getting the clearance from the government, P-form. Prabhupada had to again barge in to the RBI officers and literally push him, persuade him to issue the P-form. So much endeavor Prabhupada did, so much effort Prabhupada made so that he can be freed from India, he can go out to preach. But here we see how much Prabhupada is completely dependent on Krishna. So he is saying that you are so coined upon this useless soul, but I do not know why you have brought me here. Prabhupada knows why he has been brought here. It's to preach. But still, Prabhupada is completely showing his dependence on Krishna. And then he says, now you can do whatever you like. It's not that, oh, I have come for a plan, for a mission to fulfill. And I know what is the plan and I will fulfill it in my own way. So this is a Vaishnava. He is always completely dependent on Krishna's mercy. Later, when Prabhupada's preaching in America was very successful, not only in America and Europe and elsewhere also, Prabhupada planned to establish his headquarters in Los Angeles and complete his translation of Śrīmad Bhāgavata. But Krishna reversed the plan. The deities of Los Angeles, Shri Rukmani Dwarkadish, told Prabhupada that you have to return to India. And Prabhupada said, why I have to return? You brought me here to preach. But then the Lordship said that we want you to now preach in India. And Prabhupada agreed immediately. He returned to India. preach in India. So this we see, this Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, sarva-karmani api sada urva-numadvapashraya, that sarva-karmani api sada. This is 18th chapter and 56th verse. Though engaged in all kinds of activities, my pure devotee under my protection reaches their eternal and imperishable abode by my grace. So here, Prabhupada is expressing, is exhibiting, is demonstrating his complete dependence on Krishna. There is nothing which is independent. He is completely dependent on Krishna's grace, on Krishna's mercy, on Krishna's will. He on his own has no will. He has only one will, to execute the will of the Supreme Lord. Here he is exhibiting his complete dependence, his complete shelter he is seeking on Krishna. And in the next verse he is saying, āche kichu kārja tabe anumāne nahe keno ugra-sthāne. He's saying, my dear Krishna, you must be having some very urgent and important plans. That is why you have brought me here. I am a useless soul. But you have some very important business here. Otherwise, why will you bring me to such a ugra-sthāne? Prabhupada, after visiting the city of Boston, after seeing the opulence of Americans and the so-called technological or economical advancement, Prabhupada has summarized this advancement as ugra-sthāne, hellish place. This is a hellish place. This is not suitable for gentlemen. So he's saying, you must be having some very extraordinary work here for me to do. That is why you have brought me all the way from Vrindavan to this ugra-sthāne, a horrible place. Still, in our heart, we still have the aspirations that someday we will go to the land of USA, America, the country which is the country of freedom, the country which exhibits or demonstrates the most economical development or advancement, material comforts and advancement, the replica of material comfort and advancement. Who has seen heaven? But heaven on earth is America. But Prabhupada is saying this is hellish place. This is ugra-sthāne. And why it is ugra-sthāne? In the next verse he is expressing that rajas-tamo-gune rajas-tamo-bhāvāḥ bāsudeb-kathā ruci nahe se prasad. So this ugra-sthāne, why the place is ugra-sthāne? Any place is ugra-sthāne. In fact, this entire universe is ugra-sthāne. Why? What is the reason? Rajas-tamo-gune. Wherever there is prominence of the mode of passion and the mode of ignorance. So these two lower modes, which does not allow the jiva to perform devotional service or invoke his revival of his lost relationship with the Supreme Lord. A sabar achana. So the living entity's identity remains covered. Most of the population here is covered by the material modes of ignorance and passion. Absorbed in material life, they think themselves very happy and satisfied. And therefore, they have no taste for the transcendental message of Vasudeva. So wherever there is no kṛṣṇa-kathā, wherever there is no Bhagavad Gita, wherever there is no recitation of Bhagavata, wherever there is no devotees to speak and to hear, wherever there is this taste of katha-ruchi missing, so all such places are hellish places, horrible places, ugra-sthāne. Therefore, they have no taste for the transcendental message of Vasudeva. I do not know how they will be able to understand it. So Prabhupada is expressing his inability, his limitation, that to the extent they are saturated with the lower modes, how can they have ruchi? How can they have taste for hearing and chanting the holy names? How can they engage in the glorification of the Supreme Lord? Prabhupada is expressing his deep concern, his genuine thought that how such people who are already covered by the mode of ignorance and passion, how can they be converted? Person who is covered, how can he be converted? And then Prabhupada also has this firm faith, this deep-rooted faith. Now what is that faith? He expresses in the next para. Tabe jadi taba kṛpā hoya hetu ki sakal-i sambhava hoye tumi se kautu ki. Then he is again appealing, begging to Krishna. Tabe jadi tabe kṛpā hoya hetu. Ahetu means it is causeless, without any cause. Mercy normally is bestowed to one who does some meritorious work. But for causeless mercy, causeless, ahetuki, there is no hethā. And there is no criteria and no qualification. So Srila Prabhupada has such firm faith in Krishna's ahetuki, causeless mercy. He is saying that, but I know your causeless mercy can make everything possible. Sakal-i sambhava hoy. Everything, the impossible can become possible. The covered can become converted. Their consciousness can be awakened. Can make everything possible because you are the most expert mystic. Because Krishna is Yogeshwara, mystic. Amongst all the mystics, he is the greatest. He is Yogeshwara. So Srila Prabhupada is pleading to Krishna that by your causeless mercy, anything and everything is possible. So although this population is covered with the lower modes, but by your causeless mercy, they can be awakened. They can be awakened and they can also pursue the path of perfection. Vibhave bhujale tara bhuje se rasa eta kripa karo Prabhu kori nija-baśa. So the Prabhupada knew how difficult his mission is, how much unfavorable the situation is, and what is the level of those audience, those people where he's going to preach. Prabhupada says, how will they understand the mellows of devotional practice? Ki bhave bhujale tara. By what means? By what ways? They will understand the transcendental mellows of performing devotional service. Oh Lord, I am simply praying for your mercy. Ete kripa karo Prabhu. My dear Lord, if you bestow your causeless mercy. So Prabhupada is invoking that mercy. Prabhupada is invoking that causeless kripa by calling out to Krishna. And with his firm faith and firm belief, he is saying, but I know your causeless mercy can make everything possible because you are the most expert mystery. Tomara ichhaye saga hoye māyā-baśa. Tomara ichhaye naṣṭa prāyeṣv. All living entities have become under the control of your illusionary energy by your will. Krishna many times in Bhagavad Gita speaks about Devi Isha Gunmayi māyā-baśa. Tribhi gunmayi bhave evi sarva vidhandavat. Mohitam na vijana. So again and again Krishna is repeating in Bhagavad Gita that that those who are under the control of the illusionary energy, for them, their bewilderment can never be over. They can never come out of the bewilderment. But here Śrīla Prabhupada is saying that if you like, by your will, they can be released from the clutches of illusion. They are put into the bewilderment by the illusionary potency, by your will. But see, by the prayers of Śrīla Prabhupada, Prabhupada is changing the will of Krishna. Prabhupada is speaking to Krishna, and Prabhupada is appealing to Krishna that, like all the living entities in the conditioned stage, they are under the control of the illusionary energy. But if you will, if you like, they can all be released. They can at once be released from the clutches of illusion. The influence of the illusionary energy can immediately be withdrawn. Because illusionary energy is your potency. You are the potent person. And by your potency, the potency of the illusionary energy can be withdrawn. So Prabhupada is requesting Krishna that please withdraw the illusionary energy, the potency of bewilderment. Tabeksha hoye yadi tadera uddhara ujibe nishchaye tabe katha se pramātra. So why Krishna will do that? For the conditioned soul who are under the clutches of the three modes and they are guided by their karma, why will Krishna release them from the illusionary energy? That is this verse. Prabhupada is saying that I wish, the Prabhupada's humble desire, very genuine desire, Prabhupada is saying, I wish that you may deliver. They do not have any qualification. They do not have any merit to be freed from the illusionary energy. But Krishna, this is my humble request to you. This is my humble prayer to you. Like Jesus Christ, he prayed when he was being crucified. Jesus Christ. So he prayed to the Supreme Lord. He said, my dear Father, please free them from their sins because they do not know what they are doing. Similarly, here Prabhupada is praying. Prabhupada is saying, I wish that you may deliver them. Therefore, if you so desire their deliverance, then only will they be able to understand your message. And what is the purpose of getting this freedom? Because unless and until one is to an extent freed from the illusionary energy, one cannot know Krishna. Tribhi gunmayi bhave, ebhi sarva midam jagat. What is the next line? Who knows this verse? 7th chapter, I think this is 13th verse. Krishna is speaking about his energies. Mohitam na bhijanati. Mohitam na bhijanati mamebhyo param avyayam. So unless and until one is sufficiently free from the influence of rajas and tamas, one cannot have any katha. He cannot hear the transcendental message of the Supreme Lord. So Prabhupada is repeating here that therefore, if you so desire their deliverance, then only will they be able to understand your message. So unless and until there is this causeless mercy of the spiritual master, and it is his desire that his disciple advance and be freed from the illusionary energy, there is no possibility of knowing Krishna. Not only no possibility of knowing Krishna, there is no possibility of developing any transcendental taste. So here Prabhupada is praying, repeating to Krishna, pleading to Krishna. Why? Because Prabhupada came to spread the Bhāgavata-dharma, the message of Śrīla Bhāgavata. Where? In America and the Western world. Prabhupada is glorifying Śrīla Bhāgavata. The words of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam are your incarnation. And if a sober person repeatedly receives it with submissive oral reception, then he will be able to understand your message. So this is the qualification for understanding Śrīmad Bhāgavatam or any transcendental literature. So what we have to do? Receive it with submissive oral reception. Repeatedly. Then once it is said in the Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, Shri Krishna, the personality of Godhead, who is the Paramatma in everyone's heart, and the benefactor of the truthful devotee, cleanses the desire for material enjoyment from the heart of the devotee. Which devotee? Not every devotee. Who has developed the urge to hear his justice. I was very inspired to see yesterday as the Śrīla Prabhu posted that we'll be having the class. Ravinder Matsu immediately responded. This is genuine ruchi to hear. 2-3 days we were not, since we returned from Haridwar, there was no class. But nobody asked me that we were not giving class. So here Prabhupada is saying that one who hears Bhagavatam, Shri Krishna, the personality of Godhead, who is Paramatma in everyone's heart, and the benefactor of the truthful devotee, cleanses the desire for material enjoyment from the heart of the devotee who has developed the urge to hear his message. So we should develop this urge to hear the message of the Supreme Lord, which are in themselves virtuous when properly heard and chanted. By regularly hearing the Bhagavatam and rendering service to the pure devotees, all that is troublesome to the heart is practically destroyed. Naṣṭa-prāyeṣv abhadreshu is all destroyed. And loving service unto the glorious Lord, who is praised with transcendental song, is established, Prabhupada says, established as an irrevocable fact. Irrevocable fact, you understand? That which cannot be removed, or that which cannot be covered, or that which cannot be terminated. As the time loving service is established in the heart, the mode of passion and ignorance, rajas and tamas, and lust and desire, kama and lobha disappear from the heart. Then the devotee is established in goodness and he becomes completely happy. It's very important. Devotee means he is always happy. And who is the devotee? One who is established in devotional service. Irrevocable devotional service. Because devotional service is never compromised or stopped. Thus, established in the mode of goodness, the man rejuvenated by loving service to the Lord gains liberation from material association and comes to know scientifically of the personality of God. Thus, the knots in the heart is pierced and all misgivings are cut with peace. The chain of fruitive action karma is terminated when one sees the self as master. Continuing of the Bhagavatam verses, Prabhupada says he will become liberated from the influence of the modes of ignorance and passion, and thus all inauspicious things accumulated in the core of the heart will disappear. Rajas-tamo-bhāvāḥ taba paive nistara hidoya bhadra shate guchi hethā. So all that is useless. What is useless in the heart? We have so many desires to enjoy. So all that dirt will be marginal, will be removed, will be washed away. How will I make them understand this message of Krishna consciousness? I am very unfortunate, unqualified, and the most fallen. Therefore, I am seeking your benediction so that I can convince them. For I am powerless to do so on my own. Such humility and dependence Śrīla Prabhupada is consistently expressing. Koro bhāgavata-sevayā baro-kṛpā shudrami dīna-hīna puṇya-śravaṇa-kīrtanaḥ. Somehow or other, O Lord, you have brought me here to speak about you. Now, my Lord, it is up to you to make me success or failure as you want. O spiritual master of all the world, I can simply repeat your message. So if you like, you can make my power of speaking suitable for their understanding. See where Prabhupada is. Many times we think that we can preach, or we can convey, or even convince others. But here what Prabhupada is requesting, he's saying, so if you like, you can make my power of speaking suitable for their understanding. So whatever I will speak, that can reach their heart and they can understand the message. Only by your causeless mercy will my words become pure. I am sure that when this transcendental method penetrates their heart, they will certainly feel engladdened and thus become liberated from all unhappy conditions of life. O Lord, I am just like a puppet in your hand. So if you have brought me here to dance, then make me dance to the highest level of surrender, becoming completely an instrument. Does that instrument have any free will? No. Used, and it can be disposed anytime. It depends solely on the person who is using it. Prabhupada is saying that I am just like a puppet in your hand. So if you have brought me here to dance, then you make me dance, oh Lord, make me dance as you like. The puppet means the string is in the hand of the puppet. I have no devotion, nor do I have any knowledge. Bhakti nahi veda nahi name kubadaro. Bhakti Vedanta nama koro. I do not have any devotion, nor do I have any knowledge, but I have strong faith in the holy name of Krishna. I have been designated as Bhakti Vedanta. And now, if you like, you can fulfill the real purport of Bhakti Vedanta. Signed, the most unfortunate, insignificant beggar, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, on board of the ship Jaldur, Commonwealth Fire, Boston, Massachusetts, USA, dated 18 September 1965. The Prabhupada, by expressing his heartfelt, genuine inability and his complete dependence on Krishna, Prabhupada invoked the empowerment of Krishna. And actually, as we discussed yesterday, that Krishna himself brought Prabhupada here, and he was always with Prabhupada to fulfill and accomplish his mission. I'll stop here. It's 9 o'clock. There is one more poem which Prabhupada has composed. Which we did not discuss. That Prabhupada did on 13th of September. With that poem, Prabhupada is revealing his relationship with Krishna. What relationship he had with Krishna. And Prabhupada is also mentioning about his spiritual master and the mission of the spiritual master that has brought him here, this hinterland far away from Vrindavan to America. Hare Krishna. Clear? 2 दिन से हम ही बोल रहे हैं, आप ही कुछ बोलिए. प्रभुपाद जी का अमेरिका आगमन. But Prabhupada was asked in my book. Prabhupada said that I planned that I must go to America. Generally, they go to London. But I did not want to go to London. I was simply thinking how to go to New York. I was scheming. Prabhupada said, I was scheming. Whether I shall go this way through Tokyo, Japan, or that way. Which way is cheapest? What was the scheme? Which is the cheapest? That was my proposal. In his infancy, Prabhupada was also dreaming. You know what was Prabhupada dreaming? And he was very young child, adhamer. What he was doing? Yes, Ganesh Prabhu?
Because Prabhuji, he was looking for a train which will go to Vrindavan.
Looking for?
The train which will go for Vrindavan.
Vrindavan and Puri. And Prabhupada said that he was always thinking. In fact, he said once that once in his dream he saw that he has reached America. He's already in America. So Prabhupada's consciousness to preach in the Western world in America was there since 1922. Since the time he received the instruction from Srila Bhakti. But actually it was executed now. Hare Krishna. So Prabhupada ki jai. Prabhupada's arrival in USA की जाए. हरे कृष्ण. बोलिए, आप लोग नहीं ग्लोरीफाई करना चाहते? बोलिए कुछ इंस्पिरेशन मिला हो. Power of prayers. You see here clearly. It's such genuine and depth of the heart. Prabhupada prayed. And Prabhupada made this impossible mission become possible by Krishna's grace. Yes, Ramya, बोलिए.
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी.
हरे कृष्ण.
प्रभु जी, जैसे श्री प्रभुपाद बता रहे हैं कि उनका फार्म फेथ था होली नेम पे, तो हम कैसे फेथ डेवलप करें होली नेम में?
होली नेम में फेथ कैसे डेवलप करें? होली नेम की सेवा करके. हम हरि नाम की सेवा करें. और सेवा कैसे करेंगे? हरि नाम की सेवा कैसे होगी?
By attentive chanting, प्रभु जी.
Yes, by chanting maximum rounds. 16 नहीं, 16 तो minimum round है. To try to increase our rounds, and while chanting, we should try to hear the sound. There is one very beautiful exchange which I shared yesterday. When I read it for the first time, I was stuck. My hair stood on end. There is one, Srila Prabhupada's godbrother. I don't know whether you all know or no. He is very much known in the Vaishnava community for his very outstanding service to the holy name. His Holiness Kinchan Das Babaji Maharaj. And he used to continuously chant, non-stop chant. He is the disciple of Srila Bhakti-Dhamma Thakur. During Bhakti-Dhamma Thakur also, Bhakti-Dhamma Thakur told his other disciples not to disturb him, because Babaji Maharaj used to chant so incessantly. And he was a very, very extraordinary kirtaniya. And he used to play Mridanga very well. So, once Srila Prabhupada disciple, His Holiness Bhakti Bhagavata Maharaj, maybe Govind Swami Maharaj, in Govardhan during 1989, after Srila Prabhupada departed, and Babaji Maharaj said that I want to tell you with my experience, from all the experience that I have in my life. Maharaj was very, very old. I'm an old man. He said that there has never been a greater acharya than your spiritual master. He was referring to Prabhupada. And he said there has never been in history of one who has performed miracle like your spiritual master. Never. Why? Because never a greater servant of Shri Krishna's holy name than your spiritual master. Why? Because your spiritual master has so much absolute understanding of Shri Krishna's holy name and so much absolute faith in Shri Krishna's holy name that he personally carried Shri Krishna's holy name to the length and breadth of the world. Therefore, he is the greatest acharya who ever released. So for us at our level, what we have to do, we have to show our sincerity and seriousness. And how do we show our sincerity and seriousness? May I ask all of you? But I really want to serve the holy name. Otherwise, if we don't serve, what we will do? What we will do if we don't serve it? What we are doing now? As if you don't know. Yes, there.
Offense was अपराध.
Yes. Offensive chanting. We are still engaged in offensive chanting. Committing a lot of offenses, aparadh. Aparadh yukta now. So how to be serious and sincere? How we can serve the holy name? How we can have, to the extent we serve the holy name, to that extent we will have faith. Very clear. If we don't serve and we commit aparadh, how can we have faith? How we will be bestowed the faith? So how to become serious and sincere in serving the holy name? Boli, Ramya. What is one sure way of becoming sincere and serious in serving the holy name? Let
Hare
us speak.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, by chanting in the morning only?
Yes. Every day waking up at the same time. Brahma Muhurta. The first thing, we try to chant the rounds with attention. What attention means? Not performing any other action. Not mobile japa. Not, perform. Try to chant with utmost sincerity. Sit in one place. Sit in front of Tulsi Devi. Sit in association of devotee. I try to chant. Not that pura din hai kabhi bhi chant karenge. That is not service. That is not the service mode. So faith will come only to the extent we do service. What is the difference between a devotee and a non-devotee? The difference is in faith. And how the difference comes about? Why the devotee has faith and the non-devotee, he fails to have faith. Because he has done service. As we perform service, the faith, the glory of the holy name, or the glory of Srimad Bhāgavata, or the glory of Sadhu Sangha, or the glory of devotional service will start to blossom. Otherwise, it will remain covered. It will not become visible. That will never become attractive. That is why we see non-devotees, they come and they leave. Why? Because they have never accessed. They have never touched the transcendental taste. They feel it is ordinary. Why? Because they did not render service. With service, we are able to access the transcendence, the spiritual platform. And at a spiritual platform, when we sincerely serve, the transcendental taste is bestowed. This is what Prabhupada is feeding. See, this is the prayer. That how will they have katha ruchi when they are covered with the tamas and rajas? Similarly, when we are chanting, what is our situation? उठ तो जाते हैं, लेकिन प्रभाव किसका होता है? सतोगुण का. rajas and tamas. So we have to fight, we have to struggle. I was hearing many years back, I was hearing one very inspirational lecture of puṇya-śravaṇa-kīrtanaḥ. He was saying when we struggle to serve, to chant the holy name, although the body is not, giving us support, the mind is not giving us support, the family members are not giving us, everything is not good. But still you make a sincere attempt. That struggle is very beautiful. See, in case of Prabhupada, why he was empowered, not anyone else? Because everything was unfavorable. There was nothing, there was no one favorable. And amidst all the unfavorable situation, Prabhupada, with such determination, he carried out the order of the instruction of the spiritual master. Right? That is service. That service attitude, Śrīla Prabhupada invoked the complete mercy of Krishna. In our case, when we have opportunity, why don't we chant more? Why do we engage our mind in all nonsense? Don't we have 24 hours every day? And is all our 24 hours packed? We are so very VIP, or we have such powerful position. What are we busy with? But the problem is, there is no desire. There hardly any desire to serve. Why? Because the desire is there to enjoy. Why to serve? Everyone else should serve me. So how to convert the desire from being an enjoyer to becoming a servant? By performing service. Chant more rounds. Not able to chant that day, pray to Krishna, call out to Krishna. As we perform service, that taste will come. We will come in touch with transcendence. A very beautiful verse in Bhagavad-gītā. Where how Krishna gives the taste. Same verse open, 6.20. Junjaneva sadatmanam yogi vigat kalmasha sukhena brahma samsparsham atyantam sukham ashmute. 6.28. Very beautiful verse. And this verse gave me so much of inspiration. I have one very ecstatic experience when I was hearing this verse directly from my teacher. The self-controlled yogi. What is the condition? Controlled yogi. Control. Where we have to control? The mind. Constantly engaged in yoga practice. The word is sadatman. Yunjaneva. That means is constantly engaged in yoga practice, becomes free from all material contamination. To the extent we are engaged in service, we are free from contamination. To the extent we are free from service, to that extent we are saturated with contamination. And where is the contamination? In our own mind. And achieves the highest stage of perfect happiness in transcendental loving service to the Lord. Prabhupada says that his position is to render transcendental service to the Lord. And with that service, he receives that transcendental touch or the transcendental contact. And that is Brahma samsparsham. So every day we have the opportunity. Every day. Let us pray 2 things. Or rather 3 things. First is plan. Second is prepare. Even if we do the best planning, or even if we have the best effort, But is success guaranteed? No. Then what we have to do? Like Śrīla Prabhupada is saying, intensely pray. Plan, prepare, pray. My prayer, Prabhupada invoked being powerful. I see some of you very sincere. Every day they chant more rounds. You don't have to be told every day why you are chanting 16 rounds. One who's chanting just 16 rounds itself shows that he is not interested in chanting more. Not interested in doing service. So we have to go beyond that threshold. For how long we will remain in class 1? We have to go beyond class 1 and go to the next class, next level. From offensive chanting to trying to chant with a desire to serve. And as we chant more, we see faith instantly. I see one devotee in our ashram, such a genuine servant of the Holy Ghost. Every day he wakes up between 1:30 and 2. Why? To be able to chant his rounds, 16 rounds before Mangala. So Krishna will give taste to such people. And those who are sleeping, they don't want to chant. How will they get any taste? For them, chanting will always remain a big burden in them. कहाँ फंसा दिया? 16 माला ही नहीं, 16 माला ही भारी है. It is even more heavier than crossing the Everest. You can ask that devotee. Every day he chants 32, 48, or maybe 64. 16 तो क्या है? कुछ भी नहीं, क्योंकि 16 तो बाकी लोगों के उठने से पहले ही हो जाते हैं. But for that it requires very strict discipline, very, very strict discipline. So if we have to serve, we have to sacrifice. Isn't it? To love means to serve, and to serve means to sacrifice. What we have to sacrifice? We have to sacrifice sense enjoyment. So 16 should become 17, 17 should become 18. As we cross years in Krishna consciousness, our chanting should increase. I know one devotee, we were serving together. He's very senior to me in age. We were both serving when I was in midday meal in Delhi, in Aligarh. So he told me that he has made a vow. Every year he will increase at least 1 month. As his years in Krishna consciousness increase, round should increase. The problem with us is we even do not have an iota of the plan. We don't have that. We don't want to do. So we remain where we are, struggling with lower modes, rajas and tamas. So in nutshell, we should chant more. Find time to chant. And while chanting, try to get. And as we chant, we will see the potency of the holy name will start to uncover. Okay? This is what the difference was between Śrīla Prabhupada outside India. Keeping the on the face of the other sannyasi, he said the difference is that Bhaktivedanta Swami had firm faith in the Vedas. Yesterday I was speaking. Even his god brothers were thinking that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's prediction will not come true. So we should try, and whenever there is an opportunity, try more, chant more. On Sunday, on some other day, there is opportunity, chant more. Chant 6, 8, 12 rounds more. There is opportunity. It is not that we never have any opportunity. But how much we are awake and how much we are interested. Okay. So I will stop here. This is for all of us, it is including me. I am also in the same boat. As we serve, as we have the enthusiasm and the inspiration to serve, that day we see the effect of the lower modes do not enjoy us to that. And as we try to shy away from service, the influence of the mode becomes. This is what Prabhupada is crying. This is what Prabhupada is calling to Krishna. And how can they be converted from the covered position to come to the mode of bliss? How can they develop that taste, that transcendental taste to baro-kṛpā? He said, you please empower me, so that through the words of Bhagavatam, they can be transformed. And Prabhupada transformed. If Prabhupada can transform them, why not us? We should pray. Plan, prepare, and pray. You see the life of Prabhupada? He was always planning. I read out to you. In Mayapur, when Guru Kṛpā Maharaj and Krishna Maharaj and others, Prabhupada was saying, I was always planning. I was always scheming. Prabhupada is using the word, I was always scheming how to come to the Bible, which is the cheapest one. Prabhupada was always planning. And not only he was planning, he was preparing. He was writing his books. And still that was not sufficient, so he was always praying. See on Jalbuka how he's praying. Thank you very much. Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Prabhupada ki sabhi bhakti ki jai. Tomorrow we'll have the spiritual scientist class. Krishna willing at āche. Very, very important verse. The most